All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Unit Eagle Eye, coming to you again after a lot of technical fucking issues. Um, anyway, we're here to review the Arsenal versus Liverpool game and to talk about a few things. We've actually had special requests in to make sure we discuss certain things. This won't be a show that goes on forever. I know the last couple of shows we've gone on for hours and hours, and that won't happen. But joining me today to review the game are two of my absolute closest people when it comes to the show, and that is Ola and Lee. Say hello to the people, boys.
What's happening, people? Back on this show again with my gang brother Lee. You feel
Yes,
me?
Ola.
And
Yes,
Chig.
Chig. Yeah,
You
we're
feel
back.
me?
We're back. It's all good.
Yeah,
And
man.
again, I'm fucking freezing, hence the hat. And you can't really see, yeah, but look, I got a little blanket on me and everything, man. I'm fucking freezing. Seriously, man. I've got the
Yeah.
heating on 30.
I,
I'm
I don't
freezing,
know.
man.
I don't know how man's freezing. I'm boiling out here, man. You feel me?
Bro.
More actually, yeah.
I'm 10 stone dripping wet, bruv. I don't like this weather, man.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? I have to have 40-degree heat.
For
Yeah,
for,
that's me.
for a man that ain't packing you ain't packing a whole lot of fat or nothing like that, man. Fucking you have my guys that come and fucking you fucking
Do you know, this was my FIFA.
After our off the camera conversation, I want to hear no phrase like packing anything. All right.
Oh shit! Do you know what? This was my FIFA pose, man. I'm sat here with a blanket. I've got the hoodie up. Yeah, I got my hat on, and I was just schooling twats on FIFA, man. It was good. It was all good. And then I've come to do the podcast in Chig's hour of need.
Everyone was doing the FIFA thing today. I saw expressions pop up.
Oh, don't even talk to me about him. That geezer, man. I swear. Yeah, them way there, yeah, them way there. What does them way there mean? Fucking hell, seriously, fucking dick. Oozing sauce, blood. Yeah, you ain't oozing shit. The only thing you're oozing is bullshit, bro.
I can tell. Anyway, let's talk about our performance. Arsenal versus Liverpool, where Arsenal drew 1-1. And to be honest with you, I think people don't understand why Arsenal fans are so happy. Lee, I know me and you touched on this with Robbie and kind of the way the game played out. Was there anything that surprised you in particular? Because I know we called a lot of stuff that was going to happen.
Do you know what surprised me the most was the fact they never pressed us high up the pitch, man. I was just like, I thought, like, as soon as the game kicked off, it was just weird, right? I mean, the atmosphere, like, listen, every Arsenal fan in that ground, fair play to them, man. They made that loud. They made that loud. We didn't even know the Scousers were there until fucking they scored, man. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but what surprised me was the fact that when we're popping it around the back, Firmino, Salah and Mane, weren't pressing us. And like on reflection, looking back at that, I think the reason they didn't do that is because they knew our midfield was better than theirs. Right, and that proved that yesterday. Our midfield was miles better than theirs yesterday, right? But if they press too high,
we did say that our core is better than their core. We did say that.
And if they pressed us too high, they'd be fucked going the other way, right? And like, I came out of that ground. I mean, I know we got a goal at the end to make it 1-1, right? But I came out of that ground gutted. We never won that game, and it sort of felt like a bit of a loss. Because like, I look back at the Aubameyang chances, like, and the Lacazette one, and you know, Mkhitaryan put one wide.
10 more minutes, we would have done it.
Exactly, and the thing is, like, I just look here, right, and I just think that nobody gave us a prayer, right? Not one person gave us a prayer, right? I thought we'd win all the way to the game. I'm buzzing and I'm going, yeah, we're going to do this. We're fully on it. And all the people I was talking to were like, not sure, I'm a bit worried, right? But let's be real. We bossed them, right? And the thing that pissed me off the most about that game was the fact that every time we got into key areas, every ricochet would go back to them, right? The one time they get into a key area, the ricochet bounces off of Holding and goes straight to James Milner. And it's like, you jammy fucks, right? We have had 4, 5, 6 of them. Yeah. We've had 4, 5, 6 of them. But I will say, right, Virgil van Dijk, wow. Mate, that geezer, not only is he fucking hench, the geezer's a lump, yeah? He is huge, man. I've never seen anyone so big. He is a lump, yeah? But he is world class, man.
You
That
did say
geezer
that
is brilliant.
You did say that before the game, that he's the best centre back in the league. And he showed it in that game.
Yeah, he was brilliant, man.
Bossing Aubameyang, like Aubameyang, even Mickey, when that time, it annoyed me so much. Where Mickey was on the right hand side and he was just ahead of Van Dijk, and Van Dijk ain't the quickest.
Yeah, but
he bullied him off that ball.
Yeah, but you know what? When he chopped back inside Mickey, I didn't realise it at the time. I've seen it today. I've seen a still of it, on Twitter today. Yeah, Aubameyang was wide open. All he had to do was to square it. It reminded me of the Kane and Sterling one in the World Cup. Yeah. It was just like, oh my God. And I didn't see that at the time because I'm focusing on Mkhitaryan, right? Yeah. So I didn't see Aubameyang. But I suppose the draw was probably fair, but it was just if anyone was going to win it, it was us.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
We were on the ascendancy, and that was why it feels like a loss. Because
all of our changes were positive, and all of their changes were like defensive. Do you know what I mean? Like they brought Matip on at the end. Yeah, and like you said, if that went another 5-10 minutes, I reckon we would have done them. But at the end of the day, the way I see it is before the game, all these Scousers were so cocky, man. We're gonna slap you 3-0. We're gonna batter you. Blah blah blah. You ain't even seen a front line. Our front line has scored more than their front line. Let's fucking relax your batties, yeah, right? Our front three have scored more goals than theirs, right? Yeah. Mohamed Salah. Sorry. What did you do?
Don't tell me Don't do that. Don't do that to me.
Right, Mane. There was a time in that game where Xhaka was running alongside him and just bumped him. He sent my man back to Senegal, bruv. Yeah? And the ref played on. It was just like, yeah. Like, literally, he went flying. And Firmino, that's probably the worst game I've ever seen Firmino play.
Yeah.
He was shocking, man. He was bad.
I credit Holding with that. Holding and Mustafi shut down.
Mustafi was brilliant, man. He was brilliant.
Salah and Firmino. Firmino, honestly, I didn't even know he was on the pitch until he came off.
Well, this is what I said to you in the preview. Firmino, for me, is their best player. And he's that quick link between getting the ball to Mane or Salah. And if you stop him, you stop most of their attacks, right? I know we got lucky with Leno doing the Superman and Van Dijk hitting the post. And do you know what, right? That seemed to go in super slow motion. It was like, is it going in? Is it going in? Is it going in? And it just hit the post, right? The goal they had that was offside, I don't give a fuck whether they're crying and bitching about whether it's offside or not, right? We had a goal disallowed as well. And on the balance of play, I thought we were the better team.
Yeah, I said so. I said that yesterday.
Yeah, and when they scored, it was against the run of play. But the one thing I'll say is that when they went 1-0 up, right, last season, this is the massive difference between last season and now, right? Last season, if a team went 1-0 up, half the crowd would leave. Yeah. Everyone would be booing. Yeah. The players would have their heads down and feel sorry for themselves. As soon as that went 1-0...
Or scoring the first.
Yeah. Soon as that went 1-0, Kolasinac, Holding, Xhaka, all of them, they're all like clapping. Come on, let's fucking get them. The crowd lifted.
I was doing that at one time. I was like, hey, what's going on?
It was mad.
Come on, let's go.
Yeah, it was mad. And like the crowd, like, obviously I'm in North Bank, yeah. Everyone was just like, fuck these, man, yeah. We're going to fucking come back. Yeah. Right? Total mindset change from last season, yeah. Because as soon as we went 1-0 down last season, it was game over. We ain't coming back. Yeah, we ain't coming back. And then when we equalised, to see our manager, man, oh my fucking God. Yeah, to see the players run into the crowd was fucking brilliant. But I've seen it back. I didn't see it at the time, right? Because I was watching the players. And I see Emery fucking jumping around. He's gone and cuddled everyone. It's just like, yeah, man. And like, fair play, man. He's been a breath of fresh air, right? And if somebody said to me at the start of the season that after 16 games we'd have 14 wins, right, and 2 losses, I would have took that. I would have ripped your fucking arms off for that. And that's what a good manager can do. Do you know what I mean?
and that's the thing, Ola. I would say, just coming to you, not saying that you're pleased.
Welcome to the show, Ola.
Sorry, it was the Lee Gunner show. Sorry.
Basically, I think that the manager is the reason for it. Because Lee makes a great point. There was one time on the BT Sport feed where you saw Emre, and Emre was basically, they just randomly just brought up like a random window of Emre. There was no player near Emre. Emre's doing this, doing this, talking to himself, shit like that. But you know what? I love that. Because the players feed on that energy. They feed on that energy. They know that the manager's watching everything. So that they can't afford to just relax and chill. They have to be on it. And I thought that really transpired in the way we performed. Because we were feisty. That was a feisty Arsenal.
Yeah, man. First of all, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to Ben Hamed in the chat. He just shouted, man. Right, for me,
I never knew you knew that lingo, bro.
How you mean, blood? Man's multilingual out here. So, for me, Aubameyang set the tone for the fucking game right at the start. Yeah, when he put that little fucking tackling on, is it Arnold Trent on
Trent
on the
Arnold, Trent Arnold, yeah.
Right. When he put that little tackle on him, went towards a goal, had the goal, side netting. Basically, they got shook. Right from there, he set the tone on how. From when I saw that, I thought, oh, we are here to play. We're here to scrap. We are here to get in amongst whatever it is that they bring in. And to be fair, the way the whole game was built up and all of that, yeah, no, like Lee said earlier on, nobody gave us a chance. Only us gave us a chance. And every time that everybody goes in against us, when everybody don't give us no kind of chance, remember that, Lee, Wembley, Chelsea, me and you was there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. No one gave us a chance.
All the Arsenal fans didn't believe. I believe.
Right?
You believe.
Bro, I believe.
I believe that's why I dragged myself to fucking Wembley that day. Trust me. Yeah. Right? Tottenham game last season, combined 11. Remember that. No one gave us a fucking chance. Won that game 2-1. Again, this time, yeah, we didn't win, but this draw, we left the game feeling disappointed because when you're taking, like you said, taking Matip away, I mean, putting Matip on to taking off Salah, it just goes to show we needed 5-10 minutes, another 5 minutes, and we might need something. But the mistake from Leno is the only reason they really got to go. And I don't think
do you think that was a mistake? Because I've watched that back today, right?
Yeah.
And if that hadn't clipped off of Holding's ankle, that would have gone straight to Kolasinac.
No. Salah was there. Right.
Yeah, but he was ahead of Kolasinac. So that would have gone straight to Kolasinac and he would have cleared the ball.
To me, I just think it needs to be parrying that way out. Especially
I do agree. I think he should have,
especially with the pace that the ball came in.
But
he should have done way better getting it.
He was unlucky with that though, I think.
And on the second attempt, if you saw the shot that Milner actually leaked to the shot it took to get the goal, it still went past Leno's body again. Leno had some kind of touch on it. And I thought to myself, Jesus Christ, like how? But then you couldn't really blame him because he made some fantastic saves to redeem it. And
the one from Van Dijk, where Van Dijk chested it down, man. I was just like, how are you missing that?
That's a great point. To be fair, if Czech had done what Leno did yesterday, people would bypass the saves. They would be talking about that mistake. Yeah, so I do think it deserves criticism. Having said that, I do think he kept us in the game at 0-0.
Look, even when we went 1-0 down, I was saying, look, this is tough to take. This is so, considering how we've played throughout the first half, halfway through the second half, it was like he says, it was a goal that was against the run of play. We didn't deserve to go down at that point in time, at that moment in time, and it was difficult to accept. But the fact that we were still in it, because that's all I asked for. I tweeted out early before the game that look, whatever happens, we back the team, we back the manager, and we back the club, and we just stay in the game. That's all we need to do. Stay in the game. And if in years gone by, that's what we've done wrong. We've not been staying in the game. We allow teams to just Man United last season, 2 goals in 10 minutes, even though we battered them for the rest of the 80 minutes, that 10 minutes of not staying in it cost us. If we kept it at 1-0, when we made the mistake, the first mistake, but then you learn from your mistake. That's what this team is doing now. They're learning from their mistake. They make a mistake last week and they quickly correct it this week. And it's a fantastic trait to see in the team that they're taking on what the manager's saying. They're feeding off it. They're actually putting it into practice. You could see them. For me, if they don't do what the manager's asking them to do, they're getting hooked. And as much as I don't want to criticize anybody in the that played yesterday, at first Mkhitaryan was sloppy in a few phases of the game. I was saying yesterday, to me it was a bit sloppy. There was some unforced errors that was going on with Mkhitaryan, especially in the first half, just giving square ball into the half. And Liverpool players were getting the ball. So
what I would say about Mkhitaryan, to be fair, and I have been a big critic of him.
He worked hard.
You could tell he was working hard.
He worked hard, and that's why I don't want to take nothing away from the performance of the whole team as a whole. But when you look at what everybody brought to the table, to me, it brought the least, because it was giving away passes, and you know what I'm trying to say. It was just giving away possession unnecessarily.
He's been like that.
But other than that,
man, he's been like that. Sloppy. His decision making.
Yeah, it's just poor. Yeah. But it was I thought Torreira was so unlucky with that little run that he had, because on another day it would have picked a better spot in the goal.
Bottom corner, left or right.
It would have picked a better spot in the goal. But
bottom corner, that's a goal.
Either side of that goalkeeper, that goalkeeper has problems. It was just all places.
I wish it was Xhaka that made that run that Torreira made yesterday. If Xhaka hits that from there, it's fucking going in. It's fucking going in. So
not even that chance. You know the chance that Bellerin had with his left foot.
Yes,
I thought
that was the winner. I thought that was the winner right there. I was.
You see that
you
chance?
could see what he tried to do.
You see that chance? Yeah. If you see it on TV afterwards, right. But as soon as Bellerin wheeled away after it had gone over the bar, right, I stood there and him and Ozil had a little conversation, and Bellerin was basically saying to him, "You put too much on the pass, because then I had to open my body to take it with the left. If you had just done half the pace on that, I could have whipped it with my." It was basically
you could see what he tried to do. The angle on the ball, when we saw the angle, it wasn't far away. It wasn't far away from being on target.
No, it wasn't. It was about a foot over the bar. But if Ozil had put half of the pace on that, Bellerin would have whipped that with his right foot. And he was going, look, and he was basically saying to Ozil, and listen, I don't blame Ozil, man. Ozil knows what he's doing, right? But he was basically saying, look, I couldn't whip it. I was trying to whip it, but you put too much on. It was on my weak foot. Yeah, and if that was Lacazette, Xhaka, or even Ozil running onto that pass, it might have been a different outcome. Do you know what I mean? But
it might have been. And one last thing that I want to say, the people that are employed, the people that I paid money to, the people that took all my money away, the rabbis, the imams, the Rastafaris, all the Rastamans in the local area, I had them praying for Mustafi for this game. And Jesus Christ, I earned all of my money.
I love you, Ola.
Yo, I'm telling you, bro. I bet the Rastaman there. All the Rastaman pray. You know what I mean? All the imams, all the pastors. Trust me. They were at it for Mustafi, man. Did Mustafi not put in a performance? God damn it.
Yeah, it must have worked, like the chat room are saying, because Mustafi, fair fucking play. I'll give this guy credit when he deserves it. He was fantastic.
I actually thought he was better than Holding. I thought he was better than Holding, right? But
I disagree. I think Holding was better.
No, they were both superb, right? They were both fantastic, right? But the fact that Mustafi isn't seen in great fucking light with Arsenal fans clouds people's judgment, right? The first 20 minutes of that game, he made so many crucial tackles, right?
Mm-hmm.
He did go to ground on one of them. I think it was after about 7 or 8 minutes. He went to ground, and I was just like, no, what are you doing? You're going to take him out. He won the ball, he got up, and he just walks out of defence like a prime Rio Ferdinand, yeah? And it was just like, I was just like, wow, this is Mustafi. But every single fucking header that guy won.
He was ridiculous. Yes, he was possessed yesterday, man.
I just think, for me, I think Holding was a little bit better. His awareness was a little bit more switched on. I think the two of them just worked. And who would have picked those two to have performed at the start of the season?
I mean, when Mustafi sat down and it looked like he was injured, I was praying that please get up. Like I didn't even want Socrates on because it was in a groove. And when players are in a groove like that, you don't want them coming off because he's already in that groove. He was so switched on. It was in a mode, and it goes back to making a mistake last week. You being told about the mistake, and you correcting the mistake in the next game, and that's something that you could see that Emery is doing.
Or are we going to get yesterday's Mustafi? That's what I'm wondering. For the next game that Mustafi plays.
But Chris, do you know what though, right? Ola's just made a fantastic point, right? He made that fuck up for the penalty last week, right, against Palace. Yeah. There was no need for him to dive in 2 foot the geezer the way he did, or 1 foot, or whatever he did. But he does it all the time, right? This season, Mustafi has actually been really good, right? But because people still think, fuck, it's Mustafi, he's got a fucking mistake in him, he's a liability. People, similar to how it was with Iwobi last season, the first mistake, bang, they're on his case, right? When Iwobi came on yesterday, that got a massive cheer in that football ground. And I just thought, you know what, there's so many hypocrites standing there. And there's so many people standing there eating humble pie. And I'm the humble pie guy, I wanted him sold, right? But it's the same with Mustafi, right? Because of his shit performances last season, people are still not quite on it with him this season. So as soon as he makes that error, everyone's going, he's shit, he should be sold, he should be out of the squad, Socrates should be him. Yesterday proved what he is all about, and he can be a top draw centre-back.
See, for me, me and you don't agree that Mustafi has been fantastic all season. We bear in mind we played 10 Premier League games. I think he's been good in maybe 4 of them.
Yeah, see, I disagree with that, man. I think he's been good in maybe 7.
This Cardiff, I'm trying to remember all the others that he's been good at. Mustafi has made mistakes.
See, I thought he was good at Stamford Bridge, and I know Morata twisted him inside out. But I said at the time, right, when you've got a striker running at you, it doesn't matter whether it's Morata or Aubameyang. If a player is running at you, twisting and turning, and you're backpedaling, and you've been left 1-on-1, 9 times out of 10, that striker's getting a shot on goal because he is a striker, and they're normally better than fucking centre backs, right? So at Stamford Bridge, I actually thought Mustafi played well there. But a lot of people I've spoken to said he was shit.
This is the problem with Mustafi. Mustafi set his own bar. And imagine setting your own bar so low that you're trying to do limbo underneath it and getting caught underneath your chin every time.
You come out with from.
Yeah. He set his own bar. So this is the problem with everybody's judging him by the standards that he set for himself. But sometimes when it comes out with this sort of performances, you think to yourself like, come on, why can't we see this every week? Because we know you've got that in you. But if there's any manager, based on what we've seen so far, if there's any manager that can unlock it, it's this guy. And right now, I know, look, we're all buzzing. We're all buzzing off this performance. Because everybody's talking about celebrating a draw and all of that bollocks. Fuck that, yeah? We're more celebrating the performance. It's the performance for me. Even if we lost that game 1-0, and we played like that, the way we played consistently right through the game, and we didn't get nothing out of it, I would have been happy with it. It's like that Chelsea game, because you're thinking, you know what, we actually played well. We didn't play bad. We just didn't take the chances that came along, but we did everything correctly. There's a lot of good stuff that we did. And imagine if all them chances we had in the first 10, 15 minutes, we put 2 or 3 of those away when we had them. All of a sudden, Liverpool's 3-0 down, and they're looking for consolation.
Exactly.
And
that's
they're
what
doing damage
I said
limitation
earlier, right? Every
know?
ricochet went back to them motherfuckers, yeah? Like, and they're getting lucky little flicks on an Aubameyang shot. A Lacazette one just goes wide. You know, Mkhitaryan. Everyone's talking about Leno doing a Superman and Van Dijk hitting the post.
That check back that he
Alisson
done, why didn't he square it
same?
or shoot first time? That check back, you know, when with Van Dijk, you got tangled up with him.
Yeah, but Mkhitaryan, we whipped a ball in. Alisson came running out like Superman, missed the ball. Mickey put it just wide. You know, everyone's slating off our 30 or 20 million pound goalkeeper. Nobody's slating a 70 fucking million pound goalkeeper for doing exactly the same. Yeah, and it's like I looked today. I said to DT, right, I was stood with him like all the way through the game, yeah, and I said to him at half time, I said, if we come out in the second half and we play exactly how we've played in that first half, and we lose, not one Arsenal fan can fucking moan, right? Because we would have left everything on that pitch. And he was just like, yeah, do you know what? Fucking, we're unlucky to be winning that game. And that was at half time. And then when they went 1-0 up, we just looked at each other. Yeah, it was just like, can I just say something here as well, right? You know, and God rest his soul there, that Leicester City guy, the owner,
Vichai, yeah.
I know, right? Mate, seriously, this is fucked up, right? We're standing there and they're doing the minute silence. I shit you not. And it was nothing to do with the minute silence. It was nothing to do with Leicester, nothing to do. It was just sheer coincidence. A helicopter flew above the stadium during the minute silence. Yeah. And he's nudged me and I'm just like looking at him. He's like, and I've looked up in the sky. I was like, wow, man. It was just fucking, all my hair stood up, man. It was just fucking fucked. It was just like, shit, man, what the fuck? Like, of all the times that could have happened, it was whilst a minute's silence for a guy who's lost his life in one of them.
That's crazy, man.
Mate, seriously, it was fucking eerie, man. Fucking, I swear, it was just like, fucked up. But, yeah. Crazy,
you know, sometimes when them kind of omens come around like that, man, you have to think twice about certain things like, boy, is the thing gonna drop, or you know what I mean? So, but not enough about the omens. Talk about the game, yeah. For me, they said something yesterday that got my goat, and that's when that referee, you know, when they were asking the referee at halftime about the offside incident and the goalkeepers clattering the players incident. So the ref was saying, not every contact in the box is a foul, and not every foul is a fucking penalty in the box. True. And I'm thinking to myself, but what happened last week with Zaha? Right? There was contact, but clearly the youth dived as well. But then they're saying just because there's contact is a foul. But at the same time, the following week, when it goes against you, you want to come out and say, when there's not every contact I didn't get it. Guendouzi I thought he got a harsh yellow against Blackpool, right? And I saw worse sort of tackles people getting away with it.
Fabinho should have been sent off yesterday.
He should have been
straight elbow to the face. Elbow to the face.
I thought the guy was featuring or preparing against fucking Daniel Cormier of fucking UFC 230. I couldn't believe what the guy was doing. I thought, hold on.
Can I just say, yeah, right? He was fucking dog shit, that Fabinho, yesterday. Look, and all I've had, right, is salty scousers in my notifications. He's only played 4 games this season. Who gives a fuck? Who cares?
I did say that in my...
Mate, Torreira rinsed him, bruv, yeah? My man didn't even know what day of the week it was. My man's elbowing people because he was getting run over, right? And he was fucking shit.
How Fabinho stayed on the pitch for that long?
He should have had a straight red for that elbow. Yeah, he should have had a straight red for that elbow. right? But as soon as Xhaka stuck it on him, my man melted. He melted. Xhaka's in his face. He shit his pants, mate.
Hey, and listen, I'll tell you what, there's one player who I genuinely, other than Mustafi, who I do think deserves praise, and I have criticised him, and that is Granit Xhaka.
He was
The
superb,
best
man.
performance I've ever seen him in an Arsenal shirt.
Yep, I agree with that.
Without a doubt. I thought he was amazing yesterday. My man, I knew my man was on it when I saw that last-ditch tackle for...
Oh, man. Do you know what, right? That ball, right, that was passed to him, we're standing there, we're like, we're fucked. Yeah, I think Rob Holding fucked it. He put it round Rob Holding, and I'm like, oh my God, Salah is gone. And we're like, please, 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 just trip over or something, yeah? And then out of nowhere, right? Out of nowhere, Xhaka. It's like, where the fuck have you got pace from?
Bro,
Like,
do you know the amount of fucking yards he had to cover to catch Salah to do that? And I was thinking this to myself yesterday, that, hold on, is Xhaka been selling us dreams? Because they're talking about this guy ain't mobile. Trust me, I'm thinking, this guy's been selling us dreams, man.
Man, that tackle, right? And do you know what the best thing about that was, right? Is after last week when he gave a penalty away, which wasn't a penalty, which he said was a penalty in his interview for some stupid reason.
I don't know why he went out.
Maybe he was being sarcastic. I don't know. Right? He was just like, yeah, I clipped him. Yeah, he died. Whatever. Right? But after that happened, for him to actually just throw himself in and go to ground against somebody like Salah, who was lightning quick, mate. I witnessed that yesterday. That guy is fucking rapid, man.
Again, right? Lee, another mistake from a player that was involved in mistake from the last game and corrected a mad tackle like that against a pro like that in the box and done it properly. And these are the things that we're seeing Emery doing.
That got cheered like it was a goal. Yeah, the same as when Torreira done that double fucking challenge. Like he went in on one, then went in on another. Mate, that got cheered like a fucking...
I love shit like that, especially when you get
it. The stadium was going mad. Yeah, it was just like shit. Yeah, and then fucking Kolasinac's giving it, come on, getting the fans up. Yeah, it was just like, yeah, fucking mate. The atmosphere yesterday. If we could have that atmosphere every single league game, right? I know it's not going to happen in cup games. I get that. But if that, unless it's Tottenham, right? But if that could happen and replicate that atmosphere in every league game, we carried them across the line yesterday and we gave them that extra boost. We were with them, which made them raise their game, and it was a give and take. Do you know what I mean?
At the very least, have that atmosphere for big games when the team needs you.
Proper.
But the way Emery was going on, he wants that every game. That guy made Klopp look like a fucking mannequin yesterday. Trust me. That man made Klopp look like a fucking mannequin, like he just stood there. I thought, rah.
There was a section when they turned to Emery and they were showing Emery making
doing his sign language.
And a shot. I shit you not.
It's like watching BBC News at 4 in the morning. My man's like
that. And then they showed Emery from Klopp's angle, and Klopp was looking at him like, "What the fuck are you on?" And that's from Klopp.
You know what I mean? The way Klopp was looking
he's just a cuddle merchant.
You're putting me to shame.
He is a cuddle merchant.
You are putting me to shame here, Richard. And he was getting the whole stadium up. Every fucking chance he got, he was trying to get the whole stadium. Look, I was infected by it in my front room watching the fucking thing. I did 100 mile an hour to get to my yard to watch this thing yesterday, man.
Do you know what? Worth
every single fucking mile I covered, Bridget.
That game was the quickest 90 minutes I've ever watched.
It was.
Yeah. It went fucking rapid. It went rapid. I couldn't believe when it went to half time. I was like, what is half time?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously half time, we're sitting down, have a cup of tea, because I'm English, you know, a cup of tea. And I was sat there, and I was just like, right, I can't believe that's gone so quick. And the second half went even quicker than the first. And then when he added 5 minutes, I was a little bit disappointed. I thought it'd be more than that, right? Because obviously there was that
the head injury,
Yeah. And
and Van Dijk had one as well.
Yeah.
So there was 2 head injuries, really.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
I couldn't believe he added 5 minutes on, because the amount of substitutions as well. It was just like, I thought it was going to be 6-7 minutes, but yeah, man. Listen, like, after the game, I met a couple of Scousers after the game, right? And they were they said to me, they went, "Do you know what? That is the first game we have had this season where we have been rocking." Yeah, he goes, like, the 2 lads I spoke to, they went, "You're the first team that has put us bang in trouble, right? And we have been on the back foot." He goes, and like, even against the other teams we played this season, he goes, "I've never felt like we'd concede, even though we have conceded 4 goals. I've never felt like we'd concede them." He goes, "But today, the performance you guys put in, every time you went forward, I was fucking like shitting myself. Like, wow, you've got a chance." You know what I mean? And that's credit to Emery, man.
Do you know what? It's funny you should say that. So even in my mentions, there's one mate in particular who's mouthy as fuck when it comes to Liverpool and Arsenal, right? He has this weird obsession with Arsenal. Weird obsession. Even yesterday, my man went so high. It made him realise that, oh, okay, Arsenal may be about this life this season.
Yeah, we're not the Banter Club anymore.
Exactly. And before someone jumps on and say, "Oh, what, you're going to think you're going to win the league? You're so deluded." I'm not talking about winning the fucking league. I'm just talking about not being as terrible as we were last season.
See, this is the thing. This is the thing, Chris, right? These people think that we're cheering a draw. Oh, you're at home, you're cheering a draw, right? It's not about cheering the draw. It's about you're supposed to be the best thing since sliced bread going for a fucking title when you ain't won one for, well, since I was fucking 8 and I'm 36, yeah? So since 1990, you've not won a title. That ain't my club. That ain't my club.
Hey, Lee,
right?
Lee, when Klopp showed up, when Liverpool first brought Klopp in, they had that game against fucking West Brom.
Exactly.
They drew 2-2.
Exactly.
And they went around doing kumbaya. They went around doing kumbaya with fucking holding hands, kumbaya.
Ring a roses.
You know what I mean? And the fucking away fans and shit. And they want to talk to us about celebrating the fucking, are you smoking? Like, are you not dumb? You know what I mean? Like, don't fucking piss me off, blood. Like, stop it. You know what I mean? That man there got me vexed, blood. I'm telling you, man, like, I was
yeah, but this is, you know what, right? They all went on like there was some fucking prime Barcelona shit, yeah? Right? That front 3 was dog shit. They got lucky with a ricochet for their goal. Yes, they got unlucky with an offside goal, right? And they're going to cry like babies. But the fact of the matter is, all week they were hype. We're going to drill you. You're dead club. We're going to slap you. That's all I've had in my notifications, yeah? We're going to slap you. Then, when I put a couple of tweets out, they give it, "Oh, what, you're celebrating a draw? Oh, what, you're not so hyped now? Yeah? You realise we're not pussies anymore, yeah? You realise this ain't last season. Yeah? You know what I'm saying? You realise we're playing you off the park and your front 3's dead compared to ours." And
that was a mad thing.
Pre-season shows are talking about, "Oh, Arsenal struggled to make the top 6. I'm like, what kind of disrespect is this?
Mate,
top 6.
Listen, Chig, right? Chig, listen. These Liverpool fans, right, need to understand something, yeah? Last time they won a fucking trophy, right, was what, 6 years ago? 6 years ago. And that was the League Cup, right? They haven't won the
FA Cup.
No, they won the League Cup. I think they won the League Cup in 2012, is it?
No, what? Are you talking about Liverpool? We're talking about?
Yeah, they won the League Cup in it.
No, 06 was the last cup that they won.
Nah, I thought they won something in 2012.
No, that was on that glitch, wasn't it? That was
yeah,
under
I thought they won the League Cup in 2012.
That's the one that Gerrard's cousin was playing. What team did they play in the final? And it was his cousin that fucking missed the fucking penalty. I thought, you fucking sell out, you cunt.
Deliberately.
Yeah, fucking sell out. How much did they pay?
Listen, they're going on like they're some fucking like prime fucking Galacticos, yeah? Right? Let's have it right. They've spent £400 million. Whether they've sold Coutinho or not is a fucking relevant, right? Klopp's been there over 3 years. Oh yeah, but the first season wasn't a full season. My man joined in October after 7 fucking games. What are you talking about? Not a full season. What are you talking about? Yeah?
And that's after they got donkey fucked by Stoke City.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
remember that?
6-1. I remember that. My man's giving it fucking ring of roses in the cop, drawing at home to West Brom. Yeah? And they want to sit there and send for us. Listen, come back when you win a title. Come back when you win a fucking trophy. And all they've got is we've won it 5 times. Yeah? How many times have you fucking seen them win it? Because you ain't old enough to have been alive when you fucking won it. That was 13 years ago. Their last one was 13 years ago, right?
And one more Premier Leagues. Blackburn.
Hey, listen,
Yeah.
One more Premier League.
Listen, their fucking last Champions League victory, I remember that. I was in Cyprus with my parents on holiday, yeah? That was some mad night. My old man went to bed at 3-0. Yeah? I text him saying 3-1. I text him saying 3-2. He's running back in bare chest with just shorts on. Not one Liverpool fan in the bar, yeah? Right? They're trying to close the pub. We're like, fuck off, man. Not one Liverpool fan there. Right? They're like, no, we need to shut the bar. Right? I knew they'd do it. I knew as soon as they got back to 3-2, it was game over, right? But that was 13 years ago. Any teenaged Liverpool fan that wants to run their gums about we've won it 5 times, bruv, you weren't old enough to witness the last one, let alone
Trust
the
me.
4 in black and white. Yeah? You know what I'm saying? So don't come with this 5 times bullshit. How about what you have done since Klopp's been there compared to what we have done in, let's be real, although he's been there 6 months nearly, or it is 6 months now, he has actually only took charge of that team for 3 months since July for pre-season. And in 3 months, he has turned Arsenal Football Club from a banter club that was getting pied off left, right and centre and fucking everyone laughing at us and, oh yeah, they're shit, to a team that everyone's now thinking, do you know what? They're actually serious this season. My man hooked a Aubameyang off. £60 million striker, right? And to be fair, he was right in doing so. He was poor second half. We didn't get him in the game. First half, he was arguably our best player.
You see, somebody very, very
But he hooked
wise. Somebody very, very wise said something that I listened to a couple of weeks
Chig?
ago. No, well, see, I don't know about Chig being that very wise, but
I don't know why you're here, bro.
that's yo, blame Lee for that, yeah. That's Lee fucking digging you out there, man. You know what I mean?
Listen, why are you blaming the white guy, yeah? Come on, man.
So check this out, yeah?
Not guilty. Bus case.
So check this out. Somebody very wise did say something, yeah. He said, look, it's not always the team that the first 11 that starts the game that's the strongest 11. Sometimes it's the team that actually finishes the game that ends up being your strongest 11. Maybe all along, if you look at, there's a pattern to this, because if you look at all our second half performances, we've scored 75% of our goals. Yeah, we've scored 75% of our goals in second half. So when you look at it, our second 11, the team that finishes the game, they've always finished strongly. They've always put in the performance, and that's why when people like Iwobi, people like Welbeck come off the bench, people like Guendouzi, they've come in and put in proper performances, like right through to the end of the game. So sometimes, because I thought we finished strongly yesterday, and with that, you can just tell that there's a pattern going on with it. That okay, I know this first 11, they're going to get me to a certain stage where I just need to wear out the team. Then there's this set of guys that I want them to go and finish the job. And that's what we've been doing. And we've been doing that consistently.
Yeah, I agree. I what I like more than anything is the fact that, to me, there is improvement in all these players. There seems to be a want for doing well, you know? They seem to be desperate to all do well and all improve. And that's what I'm really enjoying about this team at the moment.
It's look, it's about running through brick walls for the manager. And right now, they're all in that mindset. Look, it's been a mindset thing that we've been suffering for from the late Wenger era, maybe the last 5-6 years of hearing the same thing, because it gets mundane after a while. Imagine doing an induction at work, the same induction every week or every week, every week, and you're doing the same induction.
Yeah, the same training course.
Forget the guy that's actually presenting the induction to the new people. Imagine presenting the induction to the same people by the same guy. That's what we've been going through for the last 6-7 years. And the players just got immune to it. But now there's a new voice, there's a new way of doing things, there's the effects of wanting to please the manager, there's another part of wanting to please his fucking backroom staff because they're telling him things that's in his blind side. So things that he's not seeing clearly, maybe he might have missed one or two things. But his assistant is there to pick that slack. So if there's any slack going on the front, he's picking that up. And with all of that going together, everybody is not pulling in the right direction with energy, with intent, with real attitude to just the will to win, and they're resilient. And you could say, look, I've always said this, I said this so many times, right? If all of our players are that shit, why is everybody keep wanting to buy them from us?
Exactly.
Right?
That's the point.
They just needed a different mindset. They can't all be rubbish. We got some quality players.
Yeah.
Right? So let's be real. If all of our players are that rubbish, why does everybody want to buy them off us? So in my opinion, I just feel they needed a new voice, they needed a new guidance, new set of rules, new something to adhere to, and a new guy to impress. And we've got a very, very good one in Unai Emery, and he's been so impressive. I don't think any manager is, well, maybe apart from Sarri, to be fair, has come in and turned a team around as quickly as he's done it. But we've got to say, Chelsea's got 3, 4, maybe 5 world-class players in their rank, right? And they've just paid 70-odd million for a goalkeeper as well. So when you've got Kante, Hazard, those guys in your team, the quality is there.
It's funny you should say that. So where would you, so Ben Ahmed in the chat room asked this, where would you rank Emery in the top 6?
Well, as a manager?
Yeah.
Based on the work he's done, I'll have to say he's the 4th best manager in the league.
Okay. Well, how about you?
Because Lee is still on mute. I don't know what Lee is dealing with there. It might be something else.
That was only because.
Do you know what? I've been chatting away. I didn't even know I was on mute. I didn't even know I muted. Chig must have muted me. I went for a cigarette. I've been trying to butt in for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, because there was some sing-song going on in your yard, blood. That's what, boy.
I could tell Ola was being distracted by it. So I thought, right.
Do you know what? I'd have him down as the 2nd best manager.
Okay, behind who?
Pep.
Behind Pep. Okay,
yeah.
You rate him more than Sarri.
Yeah, and the reason I rate him more than Sarri is the fact that they're already reigning champions, or previous champions. Do you know what I mean? They've won titles. That squad has won titles. Yeah.
I will say his job has been smaller than Emery's job.
And this is the thing, right? Emery's come in, and Ola made a fantastic point a minute ago, right? About the backroom staff and everyone's got to try and impress and this and that. And if Emery misses something, the backroom staff don't, right? If you watch, right, the number 2, like when we've got defensive, Emery pops out or vice versa. Yeah, I can't, what's the number 2's name? Juan Carlos, right? When we're going forward, one of them a step out. When we're going backwards, one of them a step out. And it's vice versa, right? And that ain't coincidence. That's when we're not with the ball and we're without the ball, one of them will pop out and be shouting players, you go there, you do this, you do that. when we've got the ball, the other one pops out and telling players, go here, go there, do this, do that, right? And the biggest thing for me is that Emery's come in and he's bang under pressure, right? He got sacked, left, whatever it was from PSG, right? And he was in charge of Neymar. He's in charge of Mbappe, Thiago
Cavani,
Thiago
Verratti.
Silva, Verratti, some fucking good players.
That's our fucking names, brethren.
And I know he won the treble, but it was the domestic treble. The holy grail for PSG is the Champions League, and they were winning that game, and they got embarrassed in the return leg, right? And they all turned up Barcelona, right? But they can do that to anyone, not just PSG. They've done that to us before. Like Messi scored 4 against us once. Do you know what I mean? Right? And if they turn it on, they click, they'll fucking rinse anyone, right? But that gets you sacked, right? Now he's come into this job after a manager that's been here for fucking forever. Like for some people, that's the only manager they've ever seen at this football club, right? Now he's come in and he's banged under pressure, right? So do you think he's going to sit there and go, yeah, fuck it, we'll keep Ramsey on for 75 minutes, 80 minutes? Yeah, oh yeah, we're getting dominated, but fuck it, leave it another 10 minutes till 70 minutes. No. Aubameyang yesterday, first half, was probably our best player. He was pulling Trent Alexander-Arnold all over the gaff, right? And on another day, he would have had a brace, maybe even a hat-trick, right? Second half, we never got him into the game, really. It was all down Mickey's side, yeah? Right? Guess what? He goes, yeah, do you know what? I don't care if you're £60 million. You're coming off because my job's on the fucking line here, right? The game is on the line here, right? And his substitutions ended up winning or drawing that game, right? And if you look at his substitutions all season, bar Palace, which I thought some of them were a little bit iffy, I see why Ozil went off against Palace, but after Ozil went off, we never kept the ball. We never kept the ball.
He came off too early. That was my only issue.
Yeah, he came off maybe 10, 15 minutes too early, right? But other than that game, every single game he has made a substitution, it has made an impact, right? So his job is under pressure. So he don't give a fuck if you're 60 million. He don't give a fuck if you're Mesut Ozil. He don't give a fuck if you're fucking Granit Xhaka. He don't care who you are, Leno, Czech, whatever. Czech's fit, but he's not playing anymore because Leno's played and played well. There was an instance in that game yesterday, right, in the first half. Yeah, the first half. And we're popping it around the back. And Leno kicked it out to Mustafi, I think it was. And it was like, oh my God, what the fuck are you doing? You've kicked it down to the corner flag. Now they're sucking forward. And I swear, right, DT goes to me, he goes, chill, bruv. Leno's got this. Yeah, and I was just like, nah, man.
There's a calmness about him. There is a calmness about that guy, man. I mean,
and then he just dinked it straight to fucking Torreira.
Torreira in the middle. He put on his sixpence for it. I couldn't believe it. Like,
do you know what I mean?
He's so good.
Yeah, I remember that part because I remember thinking to myself, don't worry. I
was worried.
And
I was cool, I'll be honest.
And this is the point that I wanted to make, right? And Gary Neville touched on it very early in the fucking season, yeah? That if Emery had abandoned this same philosophy that he's trying to instill in the players, they wouldn't believe in whatever he's trying to show them anymore, which would then not result to all the performances that we've been putting in. But he's stuck with it. He's saying, we're going to play out of the back. And he just needed check. He just needed check. Either by injury or give him enough rope to hang himself. One of the two. Because he knew he had a player that could do that job. He just needed the right time, the right moment, the right situation.
He's not going to come into a club. See, this is why people are saying, oh, why is Ramsey one of the captains? He's not going to come into a football club. Same with Koscielny, right? He's not going to come into a football club that have seen a manager been there for 22 years and go, yeah, fuck that. I'm changing everything. Because that could totally cause mutiny in the camp and everyone would go above him and get him potted.
Bro, the next thing you know, one of our players will be after his daughter, like fucking... It won't be after his daughter, blood.
But we've seen that at Chelsea, where a manager's gone in, completely changed shit, and the players have down tools and gone, yeah, we're getting you sacked. Yeah, he ain't going to do that. He's clever enough to know.
You want to rock the boat too tough until you settled in and know what the problem is.
Exactly. And the thing is, let's be real. He said at the beginning when he first took over, Aaron Ramsey, I want to build the team around him. He's one of my main players. Yeah. Does everyone think that Ramsey's contract being retracted, the new deal? What, you think Emery ain't had a word in that? Of course he fucking has. Yeah. He can't play in the same team as Mesut Ozil. Fact. He ain't worth 200 grand a week. Fact. Mesut Ozil, whether he's worth it or not, is irrelevant. Ozil's a bigger brand. He'll get money back in. Ramsey ain't.
See, I agree with 80% of that, but I find it hard to believe Emre suddenly doesn't rate Ramsey. Otherwise, he wouldn't play him.
No, I don't think it's about. No, I disagree with that. See, I don't think it's the fact that, like, if you don't rate him, he wouldn't play him. I think he rates him, but between Emery, Raul, Sven, and the board of directors, the owner, Josh, everyone, I think they've all looked at it and thought, you know what? You have been long in this contract out for over a year, right? You're not going to be in that team every single week. Can we seriously pay you that much money when you're not a first team regular? Whereas Mesut Ozil, if he's fit, is starting the game. Right? And can I just say as well, right? I've been banging on that geezer's case, Ozil, for a long, long time. He was fucking brilliant yesterday.
He was very good yesterday.
Yeah, and I said to DT,
not so much
second half,
very much off the ball stuff.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I said to DT in the second half, I've never realised how quick or how physical Ozil actually is. Yeah, that burst of pace over 5 yards, right? He is actually fucking deceiving how quick he is, right? And there was instances, I think he was up against Mane for one of the challenges, and he's just bumping him off the ball. And Fabinho in the second half, he done it as well. And I'm just like, right, where the fuck's this guy been for 5 years? Yeah, it's like, and then we lost the ball. It was 1-1 at that time. We lost the ball. We were on the attack. I can't remember who lost it, but we lost the ball. And I watched that motherfucker bust his balls to get back and try and nick that ball back. Yeah, and ultimately we ended up getting the ball with Mustafi in the end. But it was because Ozil was pressing that guy, tracking him. Yeah,
but do you know?
And he forced the error. And Mustafi,
do you know why he weren't doing that before? Because Wenger is literally come out by himself and said, "This guy is not here to do this. That's not why he's here to do." So you already give him the license to do what the fuck he wants on the pitch.
He's like, I'm doing what I want.
I'm doing what I want. But
yeah.
Emre is not. He's literally telling this lot, "Listen, you lot, you better run." I would love to see the distance covered yesterday. I swear down we outworked them, we outran them in that game. Yesterday.
And this is the thing, Ola, right? If you can't match a team for quality, and I believe our team's just as good as Liverpool's, apart from the defence. Our midfield and front line is better than theirs, in my opinion. Right? Everyone can rave about Salah, Mane, Firmino. Ozil, Aubameyang, Lacazette is better. Right? Torreira, Xhaka, and Mickey, for example, yesterday, are better than Fabinho, Wijnaldum, and James Milner. Right? So our front six is better than their front six.
I like that Keita they got though. That Keita,
yeah, he's good, but he's not played really, has he? He's hardly played.
He's injured, isn't it?
But their back line, right? That Robertson, Arnold. Did you notice they dropped Lovren yesterday? That was a smart move from Klopp, yeah. Right? They dropped him, yeah. That was a smart move, right? And they put Gomez there, yeah. Right? And Gomez is good. But one thing I'll say, right? They have got the best centre half in the Premier League by a fucking mile, right? And I watched Van Dijk yesterday closely, yeah. I watched him and I was fucking standing there. I was just like, the whole game, that guy is talking to his left back, his centre back partner, his right back, his goalkeeper, his DM. He is talking non-stop. He's pulling people in. There was a time where, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Fabinho had lost the ball, right? And then we ended up getting a corner out of it. and he's saying to fucking Fabinho, "You're too far forward. Come back, come back. Like drop back in. You're too far forward. I need you back here, yeah, because we're getting overrun." And it's like, do you know what, right? If we had Van Dijk at Arsenal, right, I would make us challengers for the title this season. If we had him from the start of the season, because he is that fucking good. It's unbelievable. The way when Mickey got that chance and he was running, he was gone past him, and Van Dijk caught him up, and he like done that little flick back inside, like back-heeled it back inside, yeah. Like I was just like, do you know what? I looked here, right, and Mickey's not the strongest guy, yeah. But Van Dijk, that was just too easy for him, man. He just fucking scooped that back inside, and he was just like, yeah, move.
Let me ask you something, based on what you just said, if you had to bring in Van Dijk, who would you bring him in for? To replace who in our defence? Exactly, after all your Mustafi shit.
This guy is a man, I swear. This guy.
Anyway,
but you know what, Chris? We're not on that level. Listen, Klopp's 3 years further down the road than we are, right? They've gone out and done 70 mil on a keeper. They've done 60 odd mil on a fucking centre half, yeah? We ain't done that. We've got to appreciate what we have done in terms of going from a banter club
for the remit that we started the league with. I think we're well ahead of schedule.
Exactly. And I said to Robbie yesterday, right? And beginning of the season, I said if we get 2 away wins and finish 5th, that's an improvement. I'll be happy. Right? Well, we've already got 2 away wins, right? And I personally think, and I said this to Robbie yesterday, right? I said to Robbie yesterday, ask me in a few months' time, but right now, I think we will get top 4.
I think so.
I genuinely think that.
I think so.
And it's not getting carried away, and it's not like whatever, but we've got Sporting Lisbon on Thursday, right? We've then got Wolves on Sunday. We could be sat here on the back of a 16-game unbeaten run going into an international break.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That'll be wicked.
Now, if somebody, and I think we'll batter Sporting Lisbon because they're shit. Wolves, Tottenham got fucking lucky yesterday. But one thing I'll say...
Is that away or...
it's at home, right? But we've got 4 away games in a row. We've done it twice.
Oh.
We've not had 4 home games in a row for over a decade. Yet in 3 months, it's happened twice now.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
But one thing I will say is when a promoted team or a lesser team, and no disrespect to Wolves because they play good football, right? But when that sort of team plays back-to-back decent teams, the second game they get fucking whooped, right? Because they've been run ragged in the first game because the players are on a higher standard than them in terms of work rate, running, off the ball, whatever. So then when they come to the second game against another decent team, they might put a performance in for 20 minutes, half hour. But then as soon as that half hour, 40 minutes kicks in, the better team just absolutely drill them. And we'll batter Wolves. I'm fully confident we'll drill them 4 or 5.
Wow.
Right? Okay. Yeah, I do. Because, listen, they've got some good players. Ruben Neves, sick footballer, man. Sick footballer. Right? But although they were unlucky against Tottenham, they've been worked against Tottenham because the one thing you get with Spurs is the fact that they will fucking grind you down and grind you down and grind you down, and you have got to up your level. Now, to do that again against us when we're number 1 for fucking work rate in the league, that ain't happening. They might match us for half hour. After half hour, our work rate kicks in. Our work rate's better than theirs. End of. Plus the fact their tiredness then kicks in because they've been run ragged in the prick. We'll batter Wolves, mate, I'm telling you. Right? And I'm not trying to be a prick or nothing, right? Because I do rate Wolves there. And I don't dislike them as a club. I think their fans are sick, yeah? Right? But I think we'll batter them. Sporting Lisbon, I think we'll do 2 or 3 because I don't think they're any good. I think they're shit. And if we don't get 18 points, I'll be shocked in the Europa League. But then we then go into an international break unbeaten in 16 fucking games. Since fucking Kelechi blessed the dressing room, we are unbeaten. That Juju shit is real.
That Juju is working. It's working. No.
Let me ask you this question then about Reece Nelson. So meanwhile, while all this was happening, our little child prodigy, Reece Nelson, was killing up the Bundesliga again by scoring another goal. Now I have to ask you, because Gunnar Michael will throttle me if I don't ask you guys some type of question about Reece Nelson. But we're edging towards January. Do we keep him out there or do we bring him back?
You going, Lee?
Keep him out there, man. Keep him out there.
For me, yeah. He's got to stay out there. I think he's enjoying his football. He's learning the trade. He's right at the top of the league near in Bundesliga out there. Well, not top of the league, but he's they're duking it out with the Dortmund, the Bayern Munichs. What he's doing out there is remarkable. And have you noticed how the same people that's been sucking off Sancho ain't been calling fucking Reece Nelson's name?
But you know,
yeah, the same cockroaches.
I don't want no stories. Good. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about what Reece Nelson's doing.
But the thing is this. They're both in the same league. They're brethren. They're very, very good friends, yeah? Right? Yeah. And to me, I said this to Lee earlier on in the tweet. They love to highlight our negatives and never talk about whatever positive stuff that we or any other players or the club is doing. And the resurgence of players like Reece Nelson, like you said, Maitland-Niles coming into his own, Smith Rowe coming out, doing all this beautiful stuff. No, but none of them, these guys aren't being spoken about, like the Fodens, like...
Yeah, Foden, what's he done?
You know what I mean? Like, what's he done? One good game. What is this guy? What, you know what I mean? What are these guys done? These young players that we got, they're doing things on a consistent basis. Yeah? Yeah, you still need that WD-40, brethren. Yeah, until you fix that blood clot thing, I'm gonna get at you with the WD-40.
No, do you know
olive
what?
oil,
Sunflower
cooking
oil,
sunflower oil.
Yeah,
get some grease on that thing. Get some lube on it, man. Some lube, even some lube will work on that bread. The greasy terrace class. Yeah, man. So yeah. So what's Foden and them man they done? Them man they ain't done nothing. You know what I mean? So it's about time certain people need to start giving proper recognition to the guys that are earning it. Because let's face it, these guys are earning the recognition and they're not giving it to them. And it's just something that's just pissing me off. I know we want to keep them on the quiet and we don't want to beat them up too much, but if they're doing the right things and people that ain't doing half as much as them are getting all the recognition and getting the praises and that, why is our boys not getting none of that? You know what I mean? It drives me nuts. And very, very good question from Gunnar Michael.
Okay. Well, so the other thing I wanted to touch on with is Lee, and that's about Mr. Mercer, who got it. Oh my God. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was loving the banter, but then after a while, it just got silly. It's like, all right, mate, calm down. It ain't that serious. I'm all for the banter, but when you start saying shit like, oh, you're just a waste of sperm, you should give up all your rights to Arsenal when you should retire as a legend. I'm like, all right, it's not like
people have gone deep, man.
It ain't that serious. Like, calm down. He gave an opinion. Yes, I think he went overboard, but the man didn't need to apologize or anything. It's his opinion.
Exactly.
Do
you know what? Kenny Ken, and big up Kenny Ken, right? Yeah. Love that guy with all my heart, man. That guy is a top guy. He's a proper friend of mine, yeah. Right?
Gentle giant, man.
He made a great video. I wouldn't want to fuck him off, Ola.
I'm a big guy, man. Even I wouldn't want to fuck him.
It was funny, when we went to the game in midweek, we see him coming back from the gym as we were driving to the ground.
Yeah.
It was like, I swear he had all the weights in his bag.
Yeah, that brother there, he's wham. He's wham.
Yeah, he's a lump, man. But yeah, do you know what? He made a great point earlier, right? And he said, Paul Merson is being paid by Sky Sports. He's not being paid by Arsenal. He's being paid by Sky Sports to give his opinion on what he thinks will happen in a said football game, yeah? He's not there to appease Arsenal fans.
Right.
He's there to give his opinion, right? Now, if Arsenal fans, which we know are little snowflakes, right? And we know, that's that door again, that we know are like so reactionary, like we win a game, oh, we're going to win the league. Xhaka has a great game, all of a sudden he's world class, right? That's how Arsenal fans are, right? Now, like you said, Chris, right? He didn't have to come out and apologise. I quote tweeted his apology and I put fair play and a load of clapping hands, right? I've had people tell me, what do you mean fair play? He's just trying to save face. Save face? What are you talking about? What are you chatting about?
Exactly.
You don't need to say shit. Does he give two fucks what Arsenal fans think? He supports Chelsea. Whether he's an Arsenal legend or not is irrelevant, right? Now, if you skim it all back, Arsenal, for the last decade, have had a weak underbelly, right? And we've fallen apart. We've collapsed, right? Now, regardless of this unbeaten run or not, we've had unbeaten runs before, right? And then we've had our pants pulled down, like Bayern Munich, 3 in a row, right? Man City, 6-3. Chelsea, 6-0. Liverpool, 5-1, yeah? Liverpool 4-0 last season. We've had our pants pulled down after unbeaten runs, right?
You can see why he said it, for sure.
Yeah, I can totally get why he thought
I think he should
Liverpool would fuck us up.
Given our form this season, but because I'm not going to start, because I was a bit like, when he said that. But at the same time, the way people are overreacting, like, my gosh,
That's
this
Arsenal fans, man. That's
look,
fans.
let me chime in here real quick, yeah? All right. For me, look, I don't really care too tough about what he was saying. Yeah, I was at it. Look, I was kind of pissed off with the way he conveyed what he was trying to say. Yeah, there's ways of saying it without trying to condescend what we've been trying to do. The last fair in games or whatever that he's been talking about with like a boxer with glass chin, basically. And that's what he was trying to say, right? And there's ways of saying that by saying, look, I understand what Arsenal's been trying to do. Arsenal, they've had a good run of late. Yeah, they've not played nobody that I think they wouldn't normally beat if they're in a good vein of form. But Liverpool will pose a different problem for them. And the way that they've defended, the way that they've got lucky in some of the games, I think if they carry on doing that, Liverpool will have a real joy. Now, if he says it in that type of way, I mean, the way he was saying, even Alan Hansen looked like he was ashamed of like, bro, why are you trying to bet us up? It's like, look, we're trying to do what we're doing on the quiet, and now you're betting us up. That's the way Hansen was looking at the shock horror on Alan Hansen's face. That's what, whoa.
Do you know what? Like, when I did my interview on AFTV after the game, right, I swear to God, right, Robbie goes, yeah, AFTV Lee, yeah, what did you make of the performance today? I went, has Paul Merson been deported yet?
Yeah.
Right? But when he tweeted that, and I see it this afternoon, when he tweeted that, I was like, do you know what? You don't have to tweet that. You don't have to apologise. You owe Arsenal fans fuck all, right?
Yeah.
You owe nothing.
I know what you're saying, but did you see the video that Ian Wright did? Have you seen Wright's video?
Yeah, I've seen it.
And he said he was upset with what Merson said.
Yeah,
so maybe some of the ex-players are getting at him as well.
Yeah, but do you know what, right? I look at it, that's that guy's opinion. And this is what society 2018 is about right now, yeah? If somebody says something you don't agree with, right? I've seen so many people come in my mentions that are Arsenal fans are going, yeah, he's an idiot. He's this, he's that. Right? Listen, I didn't agree with what he said. I thought he was deluded. But I'm not going to sit there and bring up his previous and coat him off because guess what? That's his opinion, right? Now,
So
this is where society and siege mentality comes in. It's like, oh, well, he's a Chelsea fan. He fucking hates us. He was a fucking pisshead. He was the... What's that got to do with his opinion?
You know,
Right?
like I said earlier on, yeah, like it's like, look, the man's apologized. You move on. It's like beating a dead horse. So he's moved.
But
All I care
but
about
Ola,
is
you then
AFC.
get Arsenal fans going, yeah, but he's only doing that to save face. And it's like,
You can do what he wants.
The biggest thing I think, right, is if people get so triggered off of somebody else's opinion, then they need to evaluate themselves, right? Because if you want to start fucking coating somebody off because you don't agree, right? Now, Arsenal fans are not going to agree, or the majority, some did, but the majority will not agree with what he said, right? But 99.9% of other football club fans would have gone, yeah, Liverpool are going to slap them all day long. Arsenal can't defend. They got lucky against Everton. They got lucky against Watford. They got lucky against West Ham. Right?
Some Arsenal fans would agree with that. They may not necessarily say it, but they would have agreed with it.
Yeah, see, so I've seen some that have said it, right? And you can see why he said it. I agree with Ola. He should have put it better.
I said last week, we were lucky to get away with the point at Palace.
Listen, we were lucky to get away with a fucking win against Everton. Richarlison and Walcott were missing sitters for fun. West Ham, we got lucky. Snodgrass scores that right and half time. It's game over, right? But
certain periods in Leicester, to be fair.
Exactly. Yeah. But what you've got to understand is Unai Emery knows the threat that Liverpool pose, right? So he's going to set the team up individually for each game, right? Now, I said in the preview with you, Chig, yeah, we will sit deeper. We're not going to let them in behind us. And let's be real, how many times did they get in behind us? Maybe once or twice each half?
Couple
right?
times tops.
Right? We're not going to press high like we would have done last season and sat on the halfway line, right? And I was shocked the fact that Liverpool didn't go for us from the first whistle. They sat back. And on reflection, I look at that and go, do you know what? Jurgen Klopp respects that Aubameyang, Ozil, Mickey and Lacazette, that front four, you want to press us high, we turn that over quick, you're fucked. And that took away a lot of Liverpool's game from what they do against a lot of other teams.
But to be honest with you, and to be fair, you called this on the preview as well, is we shut down their core. We shut down their core, which you said yourself, if they don't have any supply, they can't do shit.
Exactly. And Firmino that was probably his worst ever game. Yeah. We shut him down. Chig, I'm always right. I don't know why people hate me.
I don't know about that.
I speak so much sense, it's unreal. Why are people hate me?
Nah, let's face it. Klopp is no stranger to Aubameyang and what Aubameyang can do. And like I said, that very first tackle that he put in on that youth, and
that got the crowd up, man.
He just got the crowd up. He just let them know, listen, we are here to fucking get in with you. So,
and the thing is, because it was Aubameyang as well, made it even more special and made it even more like wow. Because Aubameyang ain't known for going into a tackle. Do you know what I mean? It's
I mean, the intent was there. I mean, look.
But like I said, when Torreira done that fucking double fucking tackle in the second half, mate, that got cheered like a goal.
Yeah.
Right? And then straight after that, I don't know if you see it on TV, but straight after that, Kolasinac is fucking ramming his fucking fist up in the air, getting the crowd up, going, come on. Yeah, it was just like, do you know what, yeah? The players brought into it, the fans then buy into it, everyone's pulling together.
He kept like trying to raise his hands up as if to say, crowd, come on, let's support this team. Come on. Almost there.
For me, the one player that we ain't really said a lot about tonight is my countryman, Iwobi.
Well, that's what I wanted to end on. Iwobi, he came on and just being the super sub that he is at the moment, came on for fuck this. I want to have a little bit of JJ Kocher fun. Take Trent Alexander Soul for fun.
Send him back to the reserves, bruv.
Bro, we paid for the DNA tests. And it came true that he is 100% JJ Okocha's nephew. It's not an imposter. Yeah, the skills that this guy has been doing since since he's been coming up for Emirates, since he's been playing in this team, and you could see the man ain't even the confidence, and he's just busting techers game after game after game, and they're coming off. And when techers like that are coming off, and his end is coming up with good end product, the confidence is sky high right now.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy for the kid.
At least 2 or 3 people per game. If he's not doing that, he's not happy, which is hilarious.
Because look, the way he's playing with real happiness right now. You know, it's one thing to be playing for a manager and not being happy, like Lacazette. Like it would. These guys weren't happy last season. The season before they weren't happy because of. Let's face it, yeah. As brilliant as Sanchez was for us, it was a fucking thorn in their fucking side in terms of team morale and all of that. Yeah, look, it did a lot for the club, but at the same time, not a lot of the fucking players got on with him. And somebody said it before, how many of the players actually said goodbye to Sanchez when he left?
Not many.
You know, and that goes to show.
Very telling.
That goes to show what they thought of him.
Especially when you compare that to when Walcott left.
Exactly. So now we've got new energy. Brought in somebody like Aubameyang that everybody loves. There's a real togetherness.
Do you know what the funny thing about Aubameyang is? He came in with this reputation of being a headache, a problem, a dressing room.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, my man's just lifted that.
He's lifted the whole
Always
place
happy.
up. Good attitude. Everybody's play fighting. Everybody's
He's happy to play left wing while Lacazette starts up front. He sits on the bench against Fulham.
Mustafi's doing
scores,
Michael Jackson dance in his fucking underpants. And I'm thinking, this guy got moves. You feel me?
But that's the thing. I noticed whenever one of them score, the very first person they try and celebrate with is each other.
Yeah.
Which is,
and that's the thing, like, Lacazette could have gone off the rails, right? Because Lacazette was the top striker, yeah? The record signing. A couple of months later, we signed Aubameyang for more money. That's the same position and a more lethal striker in terms of stats, yeah? In terms of goal ratio, right? Lacazette could have had his head up his arse and gone, this is bollocks. This is bullshit. Right? When Lacazette scored against Fulham, the first goal, he wheels away. And what a goal that was, by the way. He fucking done that centre-back and the goalkeeper. They didn't have a clue where that ball was going, yeah? They thought it was going top right. He put it bottom left. Yeah, they just stood still. He wheels away. Aubameyang, the £60 million striker, who could also have his head up his arse, because, hold up, I'm the record signing. I'm sat on the bench, yeah? Aubameyang's up, jumping around, celebrating. The £50 million striker, who could have had his nose knocked out a joint, is fucking jumping all over him like, yeah. Mate, do you know what? We have missed this since the Invincibles, man. I'm telling you, yeah? This like, the way the club is, the feeling around the club, the feeling with the fans, and there's still some salty pricks out there that still want to hate on me, right? Yeah? Crack on, bruv. Crack on. I don't care. Right, listen, at the end of the day, I say what I see, whether that's good or bad. If you don't like it, suck your mother. End of.
Yeah.
Right?
And that is a wonderful way to end things. I know
what, suck your mother? Oh, my days.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. And I see the amount of people that are here watching, and considering Tom's show is
mad.
That is
Big
mad.
up, Tom. I see Tom yesterday. Big up, Tom.
I see Tom in passing when I go to games.
Can I just big up American Mike as well? Guna Pod. Yeah.
100%.
He's come all the way from America to watch 4 or 5 games or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I haven't seen him since Newcastle when Ozil scored that screamer last season, right?
Yeah.
He comes running up to me and I'm like, Mike! And I've got white trainers on. You was there, Chig, yeah?
Yeah.
My man trod on my fucking white trainers. Oh my fucking God. The meltdown. Yeah?
Yo, was it that Newcastle trainers? Was it them trainers from Newcastle?
Yeah.
Oh,
the ones with the zip. Yeah, bro. Yeah, the ones with the zip. Like,
I
good job they're never, innit?
I can see why you that lost your mind, blood. I can see why you that lost your mind.
Also, on a personal note, thank you to Mike, because Mike was the one that got me, my vlog for Leicester where Ola screamed, Zoolander at Bellerin.
Right, that was fucking, mate. You were a don for doing that. Man looked fully at you as well.
Man fully heard, man.
You know he drives a Tesla, innit? This is how off-key this guy is. Man drives a Tesla, bro. With the doors that come up sideways. It's just some basic shit car.
Madness,
it's not like the only doors that come up sideways are on a fucking Lamborghini, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah? You know my man's vegan, innit? Yeah? With his Tesla.
100%.
Listen, each to their own. I ain't gonna hate on vegans, so I'm actually friends with vegans, so I ain't gonna hate on them.
Hey, you guys are better than me because I could never give up meat and cheese and dairy and all that shit.
You know what I'm saying, man? I love my fucking lamb, my fucking pork, my chicken.
But thank you.
Your jerk rice.
He did get
jerk rice.
I love you, Ola, man.
Thank you so much, Mike.
Love people.
He's treated me on a couple of occasions, so thank you so much for that. Good guy, good brother, and an American who actually knows what he's talking about with football.
Oh yeah, Mike is safe. I love Mike, man.
Top guy.
You try waking up at 3 a.m. and watching Arsenal, especially last season.
Bro, I'm still up playing FIFA at 3 a.m. That ain't no drama to me.
No. Put it this way, bro. I have to do that with UFC, though, bro. So you know what I mean. You can't be giving them all the props. We have to make the same sacrifice when it's our time to watch some of the sports that goes on over there. You know what I'm saying?
Like when Josh is fighting in America.
Man, we have to make them sacrifices too sometimes. You know what I mean? We make it on a regular basis. I do anyway.
Seriously though, big up anyone. Yeah, anyone. I met an American guy. Yeah, sorry, not American. An Australian guy came over for a couple of games, 3 games. Yeah, at the start of the season. I swear to God, yeah, that guy. He was telling me I have to get up at like 4 a.m. I'm watching games here. I'm watching games at work. I'm telling my boss I'm going to be late today because I've got like diarrhea, so I can watch the game. It's like, wow. And it's like, we're lucky. We're blessed that we literally live around the corner. Do you know what I mean?
You know it's diarrhea that's always going to get you off work. Nobody
you know that, bro. That's the only way I never go work. Yeah, I've got the shits, bro. I can't walk around knocking on doors for windows, bro. Yeah, I got the shits. I ain't following through for no one.
Oh, Lord.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us. If you're watching this, go over to the Unicorn and give that a listen, because I feel a bit bad that I encroached on Tom's timing. It's just technical problems, technical issues. But
fuck Tom, man. Fuck Tom.
I didn't say that. That's Lee right there.
Yeah, we do what we want around here. You feel me?
You know what I'm saying? This is the number one podcast on the.
This is where to be.
Now. You know what I'm saying?
And I didn't even pay them. I promise.
I'm going to start charging you next season, man. I'm telling you.
I'm getting an invoice from Lee right now.
Yeah, bro. Check your email.
Ola, let the people know where they can find you, man.
Yeah, man. You can find me on Twitter, Black Scorpion Free. It'll be in the links below. Captain Scorpion TV. Go and check some of the videos that are left on there. Instagram,
are you still uploading? Are you still uploading?
No, man. I ain't got time for that, man. I'm too busy, man. I'm busy like you.
Dirty whining, yeah?
Yeah, all of that, business. Twerk, all of that. Yeah, I'm busy out here still. So yeah, man. But yeah, you catch me on Insta, Black Scorpion Free as well, same handle. Come interact, and I will follow you back. You get me?
And Lee, let the people know where they can find you too.
Sorry, man, I'm fucking yawning.
Don't worry, we're about to let you go.
Oh shit! I'm just looking and thinking, wow, I've still got 17 games of FIFA to play, man. It's like I'm still going to be up until about 5 a.m. Fucking hell, man. But yeah, Lee Gunner 82 on Insta and Twitter. Anyone who follows my Instagram from this show, DM me, I will follow you back. Twitter, fuck yourself. Yeah? Nobody's getting a follow back on Twitter. I don't care about Twitter. It's the fucking scummiest, dirtiest, rancid cesspit for the fucking low-life social cunts. Yeah, I hate Twitter, and I just go on there fully to trigger people now. Right, but Instagram, I rate Instagram, man. I've met a lot of nice people off of Instagram. Although saying that, I've met a lot of nice people off of Twitter, like you two. But it's just full of dickheads mostly, man. And like Instagram,
you just love Instagram for all the Instagram models, isn't it?
slide in the DM. Yeah? DMs on lit, bruv.
Yeah, you guys, I'll put everybody's kind of links to their Twitters and Instagram in the description below, including my own. So my Twitter is
what's your Instagram, Chig? What's your Instagram?
My Instagram, which I was coming to, is Gunner_Eagle_I.
What's all this underscore shit, man? Just fucking post your shit. Post your shit. I'll promote it for you. I'll put it on my story, man. I've told you for months. Promote your shit.
Yes, I'll do it. I promise.
You'll take your channel next level, man. Seriously, Instagram is the biggest social media site out there. Yeah, it's bigger than Twitter. It's bigger than Facebook. It's bigger than Snapchat. And you're sat here going, "Oh, I don't know if I want to post a picture." Yeah, take a selfie yourself, bruv. Yeah, I just go, yeah, cool, and then post it and go, "Suck your mum." I'm fucking like that shit.
Sit there.
Do you know what I'm saying? Listen, promote your shit, man. Seriously, Instagram's the way forward.
Instagram is lit, man.
As soon as I hit 10K on Insta, Twitter's getting deactivated.
I know that's your one aim. As soon as you hit that number, right?
I'm about 5 or 6 followers away from 6K. As soon as I hit 10K, Twitter's gone, man. I'm done. Romeo done.
Fair enough.
Thanks for having me on again, man. Appreciate it.
Of course, you two are family. You know this already. Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much for you guys coming on. Thank you for all of you guys who stuck around with us on a Sunday evening and had a listen. We hope you crush that like button, hit that subscribe button, give these guys a follow on Instas and Twitters and whatever. And we're out here, people. Take care. And fellas,
salute fucking in.
What you done to that hat?
The bubble comes off.